there! Welcome to DollMotion! It is autumn! Or fall if you live in America or Canada. To celebrate the season, I'm going to make an acorn gathering squirrel. Let's begin! For this custom, I will be using this already cleaned Ever After High Briar Beauty doll. Sadly, she also has the cracked skull syndrome. Lucky this can be fixed with some needle and thread. And here she's all fixed. I'm going to give her different ears, so she won't need these. To cover up the remains of the human ears, I push in holes with a needle tool. This way it's easier to reroot hair. Speaking about rerooting, I will be using this frosted brunette saran hair. To reroot, I peel off a strand of hair and insert the strand with a reroot tool. If you can see, I made some markings where new ears will come. Because I want her to have a braid, I don't reroot the whole skull. I just flip it over. For our bangs, I will be using shorter hair. Here you go, a nice part between long and short hair. To secure all the plugs from the inside, I use fabric tack glue. Just squeeze the doll's head to get the glue everywhere. And let it dry for a short time. I cut out the new ear holes and fill them with fabric tack, so no hair plugs will come loose. I also made a small incision on her lips for our future teeth. Going ahead with our body, I cut away the molded on underwear and sand everything down with a sanding block. So much better. She's going to be a squirrel, so she will be needing a long fluffy tail. First, I need to make a hole. For this, I use a lino cutter. These are perfect to cut through plastic. And we got a small hole. I made a tail base out of a combination of normal and aluminum wire. And cover it with bandage tape. This makes it easier to glue on fur. To glue on her tail to our body, I will be using a 2-part epoxy glue. Mix it up, pour it in the hole, and glue the tail to her body. Great! With epoxy clay, it makes a small cute teeth and 2 ears. When the ears were dry, I painted them reddish brown. For our fur, I'll be using this reddish brown yarn. I comb it to get nice woolly yarn wefts. To make the tail, I use wood glue and a yarn weft. To make a lovely long fluffy tail. The ears were made the same way, with a little bit of white yarn. To glue the ears, I use again the 2-part epoxy glue. When it's dry, I prep the doll and spray the doll's face with Mr. Super Clear. To start the face up, I'm first going to give her little freckles. By dipping a toothbrush in paint and sprinkling the paint by scraping the toothbrush with a knife. When the coat with freckles is dry, I darken and lighten some parts with pastels and a brush. After that, it's finally time to sketch in her face. I use a light colored pencil so I can easily erase it if I make a mistake. I darken and lighten the face again for a better guideline. Great, now I have all the lines. It's almost like a coloring book. Then I'm going to paint in with acrylic paints. I know many doll artists who like to use more pencils to create their face-ups. For me it's mostly only the sketching part. You can say I'm more of an acrylic paint user. I really want the squirrel to have big eyes, with a lot of autumn colors mixed in. Some white dots for some shine. Some eyelashes. I go back and forward with the pastels to get more depth in her face. To let her eyes sparkle some more, I use micro glitter. And as finishing touch, some more freckles. When I'm all satisfied with the face up, I spray the doll's head with 2 layers of Mr. Super Clear and wait for 30 minutes. When she's all dry, I give her some shine in her eyes, nose and lips with a high gloss varnish. Let's continue with her hair. After a boil wash, I cut the bangs to the right length, but keeping it long on the sides. For our braid, I first sew a wire through her skull. I braid in the wire and cut it off on the end. This way I can position the braid. For decoration, I wrap a ribbon around her hair. Her ears also get a small trim and some pastel powders for some depth. For her outfit, I made a simple brown skirt. To keep the plaits in the skirt, I lay the skirt flat, spray it with water and iron it. Some lace and a snap and the skirt is done. For a sweater, I use this green fabric. I trace the doll, cut it out and sew the parts together. For autumn's cold and rainy weather, she of course needs a rain jacket. I didn't have the right fabric, but then I remember that rubber gloves will work perfectly. First I cut off the parts that I can't use, like the finger part. I trace the doll again, cut it out and sew it together. For some detail, I sew on these black buttons and glued on those jacket strings. This girl is getting nuts for the winter, so she of course needs a basket. This white basket came with a Barbie doll once and will be great for this costume. I painted it brown and filled it with leaves. And decorated the brim with lace. The leaves were simply made by coloring paper and pushing out the shapes with a puncher. You can of course also use pre-colored paper. I also made some acorns out of epoxy clay. Painted them and filled our basket. Last but not least, I painted these Kareem doll shoes yellow to match her rain jacket. Great! We have summer and autumn, still winter and spring to go. Did you enjoy this video? Give it a like, leave a comment or share it with a friend. And if you're new to this channel, feel free to subscribe, so you won't miss out on any videos. See you in the next video, bye!